channel. So today we're going to talk about healthy Halloween treats. So I don't know how many of you are like me, but are really trying to work on some weight issues, some blood sugar issues, and what is Halloween about? Candy and sweet treats. So we have a party coming up, and I'm trying to figure out some sweet things that we can bring along and enjoy that won't destroy the diet plan. So I wanted to talk to you a little bit about some pre-made mixes, because I don't know about you guys, but I don't have a ton of time to do a lot of all homemade things. So there are some good products out there that you can start with that will help you along the way. My daughter found these at Walmart. It's a brand called Food Stirs, and it's the junk-free bakery, so that sounds good. But it's an organic, non-GMO brand, and this is just chocolate chip cookie mix. So it's a good start on something. Then we're going to add some food coloring to it so that we can make it a little more Halloweenish. And that we're going to use the Simple Truth food color, which does not have all the dyes and things that the traditional food colors have, so it's a little more natural to get that. And the coolest thing is on the back, depending on what color you want to make, it tells you how many drops of each to get that color. So that takes a lot of the guesswork out, which is a relief to me. So today we're going to be using the yellow and the red to make an orange chocolate chip cookie, which is a little more festive for Halloween. So we're just going to make this up according to the box instructions and see what we come up with. I'm going to dump this in. So what you need to bake this, of course, is the mix, and then we're gonna be adding 6 tablespoons of unsalted butter and 1 egg. And I'm just gonna mix this up. I didn't get the stand mixer out. Sometimes I would if I was making it from scratch, but with a mix like this, they just suggested using a wooden spoon and stirring it up. So that's what we're gonna do. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and add the egg in there. I'm gonna soften this a little more because it's not room temperature. I don't know about you guys, but I sometimes cheat on that a little bit because I forget to lay the butter out. Okay, so I've melted the butter. So this is going to be melted, not softened. I just think it's easier for me. And now I'm just going to get this really mixed up. And that's all it is. That's all the ingredients that you need to make this cookie recipe. So it's okay, moms, I'm giving you permission to not do everything from absolute scratch, because there are some good products out there that keeps us on track with our healthy plans and our clean eating, that also helps us with time, because we're all in time crunches. I know we are. We all have work and kids and soccer practice and all that. So don't give yourself permission, and know that it's okay to sometimes take a shortcut. It's not a big deal. Alright, so these are coming together pretty good. Now, what I want to do next is add in the food coloring so that we can make the batter orange with the chocolate chips, and that's going to give a really cool Halloween vibe. So, alright, so to get orange, it says I need 2 drops of red and 3 drops of yellow. So, okay, so 3 drops of yellow. There's been a little malfunction with the lid, but we're just gonna see what we get. So I've done 1 drop, that's 2, and 3. And then 2 drops of the red. It's supposed to look like that. 1, 2. So we'll see what we come up with. Now I'm just going to take that and really try to stir it through. So this is the raw cookie dough. I don't know how they're going to turn out color-wise. We added several more drops of red and yellow to try to get a color, but we'll see. And we're going to pop them in the oven and see what they come out like. Okay, so we finished the cookies, and obviously the orange didn't work out. I don't know if it's because the cookie dough batter is such a darker shade of brown, maybe. I don't know, but the orange didn't show up, but I thought it turned out really cool. So we put just red drops of the food coloring on top, and when that spread out, it kind of looks Halloween-y. So just remember, you can play around with stuff like that, and you can feel confident in natural type food coloring. You're not adding unnecessary chemicals to the food that you're going to feed your children at a party. So I think these cookies turned out really cool. I will tell you that they are 25% less sugar, and you don't miss it a bit. So I recommend that you guys think about that when you're making recipes. If it calls for sugar, adjust it down a little. Most of the time you don't even miss that little bit of extra, and it goes a long way for people that are trying to kind of watch out. This is not a gluten-free cookie. There are some gluten-free mixes on the market, but this one is not. And in our area, it's harder sometimes to find stuff like that. So we have to order and do things like that from Amazon to get the mixes that are gluten-free. And in these mixes, by the way, let me tell you, this only made about a dozen cookies for us. So if you are cooking for a party, you might want to get a double box to do a double batch, or just have this as like in a goodie bag for each of the kids or something. But you want to just know ahead that they don't make a ton. But still a great option for your Halloween party. So I wanted something cool. Now I don't know about you, I love a Reese cup. And Halloween, my husband is world renowned for searching out the goodie bag and getting the good candy, he called it, which usually involved a Reese's peanut butter cup. So, of course, I don't need to be having a ton of stuff like that because it is a lot of sugar. And actually, our kids don't need to be fueled on all of that sugar either. So I was trying to come up with something really unique, and I don't know if you guys have heard of fat bombs. They're just little small goodies. So I'm going to make a keto friendly Reese cup. Now there is one variation from the recipe. They call for a sugar-free chocolate chip, and I'm trying not to do artificial sweeteners. You can go that way if that's what you prefer, but I decided to go with a dark chocolate. And so this will make the carb count slightly higher, but still I think it's going to be better for what I'm working toward, which is just real whole foods. And I compared peanut butters, and I'm sure that there may be some out there that are lower in sugar, but I looked at the ones that were just purely peanuts, and they had the same carbs as this one. So I know I like this one a lot, and I just went ahead and got the one that I'm familiar with. So we're gonna make some Fat Bomb Reese cups that will help us all celebrate Halloween without blowing it. Oh, and the most important thing, I almost forgot to mention, I ordered these really cool silicone molds. I think these are going to be a big hit at our party this coming weekend. So there's all kinds of shapes, and I'm going to pour the Fat Bombs into these to make the Reese cups. So not only am I going to have a healthy treat, but they're going to be super Halloween and cute. So let's see how this goes. Okay, so I've set up my double boiler. This calls for microwaving the chips. I don't microwave, so I'm just gonna do this in a double boiler. And I did a double batch of chips because I wasn't sure how many I would get with just a single bag. These are the best. I use these all the time in my cookies because they're not super sweet, and they are 72% cacao, which is a pretty good ratio for dark chocolate. So we're going to get that started melting. And in the recipe, it calls for us to add a tablespoon of coconut oil. So I'm going to go ahead and add one, and then I'll probably add two if we end up using the other bag. I'm just going to see if we're going to need it. But I do have it on hand if we do. And so, of course, the coconut oil is going to be your fat component of this. So that's what kind of adds in. I'm not going to measure this. Just a little bit, just a tablespoon, roughly. And so now we just have to set about the process of getting these to melt down. And then we're going to pour the bottom section into the molds. So while that's happening, I'm going to spray these. I've never used these before, I just got them. So I'm actually going to spray these with just a little non-stick spray so that they'll pop out easy, I hope. So I have them all three ready, and then we'll see how it goes. So the outer edge, of course, of the Reese cup is the dark chocolate, and then the center part we're going to do peanut butter, also melted with the coconut oil. So that's a nice consistency. I'm just going to slide this over and try not to make a huge mess. We'll see how that goes. So what I'm going to try to do is just a small spoon, just enough to cover the bottom. Hope you guys can see that. And I'm just going to pick some different molds. When I ordered these molds, I got them from Amazon, and I got all three for like $10. I'm Amazon Prime, so I had free shipping. So it was really inexpensive to get these. And there's probably lots of other treats that you could do. Try a few over here. So I'm just picking some random shapes because I don't know how much this will actually make. I love the little ghost, and my daughter did too. So this is the bottom layer. While we're doing the peanut butter melt, we're going to melt the peanut butter as well. These can be hardening up a little bit because you wouldn't want to add the peanut butter in too quickly, or it would kind of all mix together. So you want to give this a chance to cool a little bit. You want to make sure these have got little indentions in it to make the eyes and stuff. So I'm going in there and making sure that I'm covering all of the area, or else you'll end up with a hole. Okay, so now the peanut butter. Same thing. I'm going to melt it together with some coconut oil, which adds the fat. And like I said, the version that I found online was sugar-free, everything. Sugar-free peanut butter, the whole 9 yards. Like I said, looked up the sugar-free at Kroger because I was just going to get the pure peanuts, you know, kind of ground down. And it was the same carbs. So you guys can compare depending on what your goals are, your own health goals, and what you're, you know, looking to. So at Kroger now they have the Lily's chocolate, and it is sweetened with stevia. So that would be another option for you, depending on how, you know, what you want to do there. Peanut butter. So about a tablespoon again of coconut oil. That kind of helps. And then we're just going to let that all melt together. Okay guys, I'm going to get my second batch of chocolate that's going to go on top melting. I'm out of spoons. The dog is right there thinking he's going to get a bite. Okay, so these have been in the fridge for 10 minutes, and that gives that bottom layer a chance to set up a little. You wouldn't want to add the hot peanut butter right on top because then it's just going to penetrate through and it's going to be muddled. Hope that doesn't happen anyway. But we're going to try. Alright, so what I'm going to do is take just a small spoon and just pour right on top a thin layer. This doesn't need to be super thick, I don't think. Of course, I've never made these, but it doesn't have to be a super thick layer of peanut butter. Okay guys, so now we've got the chocolate melted, so we're ready to do our final layer. This really wasn't a hard process, it's just you got to take the time to do the steps. So I'm assuming that I want to cover that completely. Hey, so we're back to see how these turned out. Now I've cheated and already tried to get one out. It's really cool. I ended up, let me just say that depending on the size of your mold, you may have to really push that limit on the final, allowing it to set up in the refrigerator. I actually ended up putting these in the freezer just to bump it up a little quicker, but it was a total of 45 minutes on this size mold. So it just depends on what you've got. But they turned out so super cute. Look! The mold is perfect. It's set right up around it. I'm so excited. And these are going to be super cute for our Halloween party. And it's a nice little treat that doesn't destroy your diet. I love it. And they popped right out of these really well. What's cool about these silicone molds is you can just really manipulate them to get the treat out without it destroying it. It's layers. These don't have a lot of chocolate because I was afraid I was going to run out. But they turned out so cute. These would have to please any child. Now the cool thing about these is having the extra coconut oil makes them super filling. So you're not going to feel like you need to eat 6 or 7 of these like you would, like I would, a Reese's peanut butter cup in order to feel satisfied. So these are going to fill you up a lot quicker. That's the cool thing about adding healthy fats to items. I think these turned out super cute. I think you could use your own variety in this, something that you really like, to make it your own and modify those recipes so that you can have a healthy Halloween treat that doesn't have to mess up all your diet plans. I hope that this inspired you to think outside the box a little. Take a recipe that you find on Pinterest or a box mix from Walmart or Kroger and make it something unique for Halloween. You can also make it healthier, spice it up a little with some food coloring. But just think outside the box this holiday season to try to stay on track with your health goals while enjoying a little bit of the Halloween fun. I hope that you liked this video. If you did, subscribe and like, and that really helps support my channel. See you next time.